Yes, yes, yes. This is a, I hear a lot of young Africans, okay, talking about Africa being perpetually taken advantage of, okay, as it's as if we are the victims of the world.
Yeah.
Okay. And from our discussion till now, you understand that I think differently about that. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think we are victims of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I love history. I love history. My father studied history, and he used to teach history in secondary school. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think we are victims of the world, because if you look into history, everything that has happened to us in the last 300-400 years has happened to other people, other areas of the globe at one time or the other. Okay, so maybe are only just happening now, but I don't think we're targeted to be victimized.
You don't
I don't think
that?
so. Okay, so what do you think?
Maybe let me ask you a question before I answer that.
Yeah.
So you say, like, you think everything that has been happening in Africa happened in other part of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll ask you, I'll push you by this. I'll ask you, do you think the same magnitude that it happened in Africa, or it's happening in Africa, that's how it happened in the rest part of the world?
How do you measure that magnitude?
Yes, because when people, they start victimizing themselves, because they see unrighteousness, they see unfairness in treating a certain group of people. That, okay, we might all be colonized or something, but why this one group of people is being treated like the least and worse than any other group out there that is there.
Okay.
And that is something that and I want to know from your side, do you see that? Do you see there's unfairness of treatment between particularly Africans and other groups of, like, the way you know, those classes? Do you see that? And even in the history, do you see that?
Now, first I will address the word unfairness. Okay.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there's nothing called unfairness in this world. Okay, things happen. Okay, things happen. Things that, see, what happens is that in a different era, we look back at what happened in the past and we say, oh, that was unfair. But the question is this: when you look at those things that happened with the knowledge at the time, okay, with the what was accepted at that time, was that unfair? No. It was what we were. See, human beings has been human civilization, human culture, human society has been on an evolutionary journey. Okay, we have been evolving as a culture, as a group of people. Okay, and the things we see today that was unfair 100 years ago, 200 years ago, at that time, they were not. Okay, so now when it comes to talk about Africans being targeted, maybe now we see it, but other groups have been targeted. See, what has always happened between two groups, one more advanced and one less advanced. Unfortunately, with human beings, the one who thinks they are more advanced they dominate the ones that they think are less advanced. Okay, before the English colonized Nigeria, okay, the Fulanis were advancing through North Africa, not Nigeria, going down to the west, conquering every group they meet. And that's exactly the same thing that the English did from the south. Okay, they were two different groups doing the same thing. Only one group were Africans, the other group were Europeans, but they were all doing the same thing, conquering. Okay, and then they now conquered the whole region, and then formed the country they call Nigeria today.
For me to respond, because I didn't respond to your question, for me, I disagree.
Okay.
And,
okay.
Yeah, and I disagree because I do believe, I don't even believe, I see that Africa
you're breaking up. Oh, sorry.
Being targeted from the very, can you hear me?
Yes, you're breaking up. Go on.
Oh yeah. I'm saying I've always seen African being targeted. I can start from the very beginning of time during colonization, David Livingstone and those guys who came to explore, the shores of Cape Town and explore and found this one place, called Africa, and went back to give a report of what they have seen. And then next, I mean, later on, you see this meeting that they had in Berlin conference to talk about how are they going to take this land? How are they going to occupy this land?
Yes.
Because they found this one very rich land, having so many people that they've never seen them before, dark skin color people. And they saw these people, they don't really know even what they have. Some of them, they were playing with gold, with diamond. They didn't know that it was diamond. They thought it was just a stones. And after seeing that, then the plan, it was to come to occupy this land, to colonize this land, to take advantage of this place that these people, they don't even really know what they have. And in another side of the coin, they knew as well, because Africa was civilized long time ago. You can talk about Egypt. You can talk about so many kingdoms in Africa. You can talk about Ethiopia. You can talk about Mali Kingdom. You can talk about all these different kingdoms that they were already civilized in a very beautiful way. But you have these people who, once they found the color black, they believe that it's below them, and that's why these people, I think we all know, and we all understand the meaning of slave. Slave is someone that you don't think that you are the same. It's someone that you think is below you. There's old pictures of our kids being in a cage, like they were holding up in the cage like dogs or like cats, and being fed the leftover of food because they are sons and daughters of slaves. And today, if you go to the United States, you'll see that country has been built by our ancestors because of what the blood, sweat, and tears and what they've done. So in that case, and that happened long time ago during colonization, and it's still happening even today. Just recently, the incident that happened, that us as an organization, we had to write a letter to the president of France to demand justice to our two brothers and sisters from Burkina Faso that were killed when they were demonstrating, stopping the French troops to enter the country, because they simply wanted to see what is inside the vehicles. They believe that these guys are transporting a weapon and giving to rebels group to fight against us. So they stop them. They say, hey, we want to see what do you have in your cars. And what happened is these guys, they were killed. Like a lot of people, they were injured, but two young people were killed because of bombs and because of all this stuff. And this, it's the country, it's their own country. They have a right to stand for it. you know, but they cannot do anything because there's someone else standing. And that's what we see in Mali, like Mali rejecting them, that you guys, you have to get out of here because you've been here for a long time. Until today, still France is taking colonial taxi from so many countries in Africa until today. So in this case, and so many different evidence, I can go to Niger, that like 40% of electricity in France today is coming from Niger uranium. And when you go to Niger, more than 83% of people, they don't have electricity. So literally, Africa is sustaining the world with the resources and everything that they do have. People, they know that it's unrighteous. And you know that a lot of these things are happening because of corruption of our leaders and people that are there in charge. But also on another side, these are things are happening because of the trap that we are in already. There's a debt trap, but also there's a lack of, because of our division in Africa, we cannot stand as one people to decide to demand something by ourselves. But so you have just few countries, like you have Zimbabwe standing for something, and then they're putting sanction on them. They cannot do anything right now. You have Eritrea for many years has been having a lot of sanctions. You have Ethiopia sanction. You have Ghana. Now they're looking to put sanctions because of and that story, I think you know. So because of that, you have like whatever that these African countries try to decide, there's a sanction because of whatever that happened. Whatever this, there's this. Whatever this, there's a sanction. And then, so you have a very, you know, divided continent, divided countries, and you have so many different continents out there. You have like Europe, you have America, you have, you know, you have everywhere. You have Australia, you have, and different countries that all of them, they're looking towards this one region that it's for me, basically, just to summarize, I'll say this. Back in the days, colonizers, they came with guns and weapons, but today they're coming with money.
Okay.
So do I agree with the concept of victimizing myself and dwell into that? No, I don't agree with that. I believe that Africa, yes, Africa has been victim for so long. I believe that, but I don't dwell into that because I don't like victimizing myself. What I'm trying to do is to find a solution. How are we getting out of this? Because a huge part of things that happen in Africa, they are caused by Africans ourselves.
Okay.
You know, some of us, we saw our leaders. You see what happened to Patrice Lumumba of Kenya, of Congo. They sold him and he was killed. What happened to Thomas Sankara? His best friend from the same country, he sold him and he was killed, and so many things. So all these things, Africans, we are responsible for that in so many, in so many percentage, but also we cannot disregard that is not looking Africa that, and they're not there to support Africa, to develop Africa. No, they're there because they see their own interests. They're there because they have something on the table to get. And are they going to stop seeing that? No, they're not going to stop, you know, because that's how the world works. But the only thing that we can do is to know our value, to know our identity, and also to stand with the firm decision, to come together as people and to have the good contracts, good agreements that will benefit our people and not just a certain group of people, and transform this continent, because we cannot really stop what is happening unless we come together and try to get out of this deep hole that we have been in for so long, and we still make the same mistakes again and again and again. Okay. And that's why today I'm here doing what I'm doing. Good. Because of things like this.
Now, see, you have talked about so many different things. All this are important for us to get our hands on, to understand all these things, okay? But yes, let me just pick a few things. Yes, you said something that I totally agree. Most of the things we are complaining about right now are done by fellow Africans. Okay. Now, do I believe that there is no external influence? No. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. But like what I said is that Africa is not targeted in terms of the things that the external forces are doing to and in Africa are not unique. okay, the same things were done to other regions. Okay, colonization didn't start in Africa. Colonization has always been done. See, if you read the Bible, for example, what was the Romans doing in Jesus' region? Colonizing. Okay, yeah, the Romans colonized Judea. Romans colonized England for over 400 years. Okay, and the Europeans decided to colonize Africa after 400 years of transatlantic trade ended. Okay, so yes, when you say that, oh, they saw us as inferior. Now the thinking that we're inferior only started in the 19th century. Okay, the 18th century, the Enlightenment area. Okay, but before then, they never thought that we're inferior. See, I heard a lot of young people talk about the Moors conquering Spain, and I'm happy about that. See, the Moors conquered Spain, the southern area of Spain, and dominated it for over 700 years. 700 years. Yet Africa was colonized less than 100 years. See, colonization has been done by many different people. Okay, and see, so what I'm saying is this: yes, a group of people who are colonized do not like it. That's the truth. Okay, that's the truth. But it doesn't. It should not be. We should not see ourselves as victims, because seeing ourselves as victims will not help us to overcome our challenges, which we really need to do if we want to develop our land. Okay,
I think it's a process. I think it's a process because for me personally, you're living in the UK, so you understand this. If we talk about racism, for instance, right? For me, to where I am right now and what I'm doing, it was a process. Okay. I had to go through a part of my life that I victimized myself. Okay. And I don't even say, let me even not use that word. Let me say the reality of what has happened. Like if someone is, treating you like worse than an animal, because, they treat animal better than you as a black, right? They treat dogs and cats and even monkey better than you as a human being. That's what I experienced in 9 years when I was living there every single day. When I stepped outside, when I went to the subway, when I rode the bus and all those stuff. So many different experiences.
You mean in South Korea?
In South Korea, yes, wow. In South Korea. That okay. even diplomats, we had one of the guy who was working in the Nigerian embassy. We're going to the same church, and one day he told us, he say, in Nigeria, I'll be received by security. I'll be, in these beautiful cars, and people, they will even, push the road for me to cross by. But here, I'm just like another black man in another land. And so this is the reality of life of Africans when they're outside of the continent and go outside.
Oh,
it's
okay.
not even...
Let me ask you this question. Let me
Uh-huh.
ask you this question. Are there, the way we treat our people from different tribes, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
See, I ask this question. If every tribe had a different color,
yeah,
would we be pointing to the treatment from some whites as racism compared to the treatment different tribes in Africa deal out to other tribes?
You know that is very different because
no. Hold on.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Hold on. Do you see that difference? First of all, identify the difference.
The difference is this, and also I'll talk on my context, because here in Tanzania, when you talk about like this tribe is being treated differently, people, they don't understand because we don't have tribalism.
Okay, maybe in Tanzania. Okay.
Yeah, in that context. But in another countries, because I know they struggle with that, it's different because we're talking about race and this is tribe. Yes.
No. See, my brother. You see, for me, I've been in England over 15 years. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't experienced racism.
You haven't?
I haven't.
Wow. Yeah,
okay.
That's a big wow.
Listen, I haven't experienced racism.
Yeah.
Okay. When I was in Nigeria, I experienced what we call tribalism. Yeah. But you know what? Those people who, my classmates, my neighbors, who say things to me because I'm from a different tribe.
Yeah.
Till today, they are still my friends.
Yeah.
We laugh about those things.
Yeah.
I don't point to them and say, you were mean to me. No. I don't do that. And many of them were very mean to me. But yet, I don't do that. So why should I point to just because they are of a different skin color and they do similar things that my neighbors, my classmates did to me in my own country? Why should I point to them as?
That's very dangerous statement, because just in fact that you did not.
Talking about me. I'm talking about me.
Yeah. So I'm trying to answer like this, that just the fact that you did not experience that for 15 years, it doesn't mean that they're not people who are experiencing that.
No.
Yes,
I never said that. I'm talking about me.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm saying that. So what you're projecting, for instance, you say that we should not victimize myself. And what my answer was that, oh, this is the process. And then I went back to one experience, and I was in the process of, it's just like, for instance, it's just like when you lose someone, you have a different process of grieving until the time that you are, I cannot say you're fully okay, because you'll never be okay when you lose someone, but you are coming to that stable place where you can actually do your normal things as always. So there are experience. I was asking my mom and my dad. One day I asked them that, hey, how was this colonizing, happen? Like at that time? Because they were there at that moment, and they were explaining to me what they were dealing with with them. And my mom, she was saying that, one day, one of their friends, she was literally just hanged like on the two ropes like this and burned like a barbecue.
Wow.
And she was witnessing that. And when they went to school and they didn't pay the school fees, what they didn't just punish kids, but they call parents, they punish them as well.
Wow. Where was that?
Tanzania during the colonization.
Wow.
During the time of British and German as well.
Oh,
they
yeah,
were doing,
okay. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, during, see,
during that time.
Sorry.
Exactly.
Colonization was brutal.
I haven't finished yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't finished yet. So these, I'm giving these examples just to build on the point that I'm saying, that I think people, I think Africans, they have right to victimize themselves. Yes, they can do that because they're really like their real history, their real things that happen to them, like that evil. I don't even call, like, because racism and all this stuff, this is evil, like evil that happened to them. They need to feel that, but that's not the place you have to dwell, because as a human being, you'll feel that. But we need to do something about it, which right now we should be discussing with Africans that, okay, what are we doing next? In order that our next generation may not feel the same way we're feeling today. Because if we're feeling today and then 50 years later, our kids are feeling the same thing, there's a definite problem.
Mika, on that note,
yes. Yeah.
Let's follow that.
Yeah.
Let's stop over talking about this, and let's focus on what are we doing.
Yeah.
Okay. See. Okay. So let's stop on this looking back.
Yeah.
And victimizing ourselves. Okay. So Mika,